First, team coverage of breaking news. We've learned a Middletown couple were the two people killed in the plane crash on 195 in Dartmouth this morning. I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Kim Calooney, and here's the latest at this hour. The Bristol County District Attorney's Office says 68-year-old Thomas Perkins and his 66-year-old wife, Agatha Perkins, were on board the plane and pronounced dead at the scene. Massachusetts State Police say 195 is back open except for the leftmost lane heading east. They say troopers will remain at the crash site overnight until federal investigators arrive tomorrow morning.
Shiina LoSciuto begins our team coverage overlooking the highway in Dartmouth. Shiina?
Well, in the early moments, witnesses say the smoke was so intense and bad, they couldn't even tell what exactly was burning here. In between the east and westbound sides of 195 in Dartmouth, destruction from a deadly plane crash. This is near the Reed Road overpass near exit 19, now at the center of an investigation. The two passengers on board are confirmed dead. Mass State Police say one person on the ground was also injured when their car was hit by a part of that crashed plane. The driver is expected to recover.
It was definitely a full wreckage. It was wreckage. There was no way. I don't think anybody could have survived that.
We spoke to drivers who came across the wreckage before the fire department did.
When I came up upon it, because I slowed in, pretty much stopped my car, and then I noticed a police officer, a state police come and stop the traffic. He ran over to the plane, and then he must have grabbed one of his tanks and started to put out the fire.
The victims have been identified by the district attorney's office as a couple from Middletown, Rhode Island, Thomas and Agatha Perkins. Authorities say their plane crashed into the wood line on the westbound side of the interstate.
And I could smell it. I'm like, this isn't a car. And then I looked across the way and I noticed that there was flames going into the woods across from 195 westbound on the other side of the highway. So there were pieces of the wreckage all strewn through the middle of the highway and onto the middle of, the center of the highway.
Now tonight, both the FAA and the NTSB will continue this investigation. The crash plane is still behind me in that grassy area between the highway there in the median. Authorities are please asking that people do not slow down and take photos of it. Reporting live in Dartmouth, I'm Shiina LoSciuto, 12 News.
Shiina, thank you. And we've learned the plane was only in the air for a matter of minutes before something went wrong.
Our Kate Wilkinson continues our team coverage from New Bedford Regional Airport with what else she's learned about the flight plan. Kate?
Shannon and Kim, here's what we know. Kenosha, Wisconsin is where that plane was supposed to be headed according to flight records. But we now know that it didn't get there and it only took a few moments for it to crash after takeoff. Flight data shows a plane taking off at 8:10 this morning from New Bedford Regional Airport, then making a left turn. The real-time tracker stops on 195. According to that data, it shows the plane reached a speed of 175 miles an hour before dropping rapidly. FlightAware shows the plane only reached about 750 feet in the air. For context, these planes can reach up to 31,000 feet. That's according to retail estimates. The plane then crashed only a few miles from the airport. Then this recording of the first responders gives you an idea of the chaotic moments that unfolded after the plane crashed.
We have a confirmed plane crash with possible injuries, active fire and jet fuel spilled on the 195-19 exit ramp. Intermediate active fire. Either one, I spoke to the tower. They weren't able to determine the number of occupants on the plane. Fire in the woods, the plane's in the median. We're going to have to check the woods.
And we have seen a plane take off from the airport here today, so they are letting planes take off at this time. Mayor John Mitchell's putting out a statement just a few hours after the crash, offering his condolences to the victims. Live in New Bedford, Kate Wilkinson, 12 News.